Hi guys, Tiffany here, and welcome to my quilting life. For those of you who are new here, down below, press the subscribe button and the little notification button so that you get dinged every time I'm on, because all I do is live videos for now. So yeah, hi guys, thanks for coming. So we are going to be doing the Bargello quilt that I designed myself in my head, and then I just randomly said, oh my god, I gotta put it on paper. So I put it on paper and I bought all the stuff, and it's just been sitting and sitting and sitting. And I've been telling you guys about it for so long that I'm like, you know what? I have a day off. Let's do this. So I'm going to try to do it all in one day. Yep, that's right, one day. So, okay, I haven't got this started yet, so obviously I don't know if anybody's watching yet. But for those of you who are new, just hit that, subscribe button down there and like. And in the description below is the links to all of my social media, and those of you who already follow me, you already know those things. So anybody that's new though, there's links to everything. There is also now a P.O. box for you guys to write me letters, I guess. If you guys want to write me letters or anything like that, I am now available. Woo, I got some loud volume going on. So, alright, so okay, so we're going to get started here after I turn this little light switch off behind me, because I know you guys don't want to see this wonderful thing glaring, even though it's pretty bright in here. So, wow, that really takes the light down. And look, you can't even see my face. Alright, that should be better. I watch myself too at the same time. Okay. So, hi Susan.
Susan, same thing.
So my husband's on the other side of the camera, and I think what I'm going to do, since he's like in the middle of a light switch, is I'm going to have to adjust it. Oh, there we go. You can see it.
Okay.
Is that better?
It's okay.
All right. I'm trying to make sure my cords aren't right here because I don't want to cut them.
Do you want to move the light pole out of the way, or are you not doing that today?
I'm not doing that side. I'm working here and there.
Okay.
So I guess I'll wait for some people to get on, because so far I only see Susan on. And do you see how many people are viewing?
3.
3? Who we got out there besides me? Because myself actually
Linda
makes
Price
a number.
is here.
Hi, Linda. Okay. Just sitting here working and watching. Almost done with my work day. Well, good, because then you could go home, put your feet up and relax, or you can just get to some quilting. So, okay. I chose black originally for mine, by the way. I just thought I'd tell you guys, if you see me cutting white, it's because like you guys know this, I change my mind so often. I decided that I would just dull it down a little, and I don't use white very much in my quilts. I use always black. Black is like my go-to color. So I decided to change up, and I'm doing red, white, and turquoise. So those are the colors that I would be cutting. And work from home. Not too far to try. Yeah, I work from home too, so it makes it easy. You don't have to go anywhere or do anything. It's awesome.
Do you want me to be pushing this to show your stuff?
Okay, so let's get to this. I pressed all my fabrics. You might want to go ahead and do that. Some of you like to wash your stuff first. I just went ahead and pressed everything really, really nicely. And I can cut up to 8 layers, but this is just 6 technically. So I lined them all up on a line, nice and neat, flattened them all out, started from the beginning, and we're going to get to the cutting part first. So I'm going to go ahead, and remember when I said we needed our big ruler, guys? This is what we're using it for. I would normally use my big, huge cutting ruler, but I'm going to try to do this with this one. And I recommend highly, and Jordan Fabrics, Donna Jordan does this, and you guys know this. She uses a weight, which I found to be 100% more helpful to throw a weight on here to get my lines way accurate. And surprisingly, it actually helps, especially for klutzes like me. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start with our cuts. And if you guys hear hammering or anything like that, it's because the house behind us is being built, which I've told you guys that before. Oop, it didn't get right here on this little edge. Alright, and I just drop it down in my little drop down waste bin. And we're going to come over, because our jelly rolls are 2.5 inch strips, we're going to come over and cut 2.5 inches. So I'm going to count 1, 2, and half. And I'm actually going off of my ruler, not off of the mat. For me, it works easier to use the ruler measurement than it does to use the mat measurement. I just put my handy dandy weight right at the top, and I cut. And I'm going to go over it a second time because of those darn creases in my board from these same cuts over and over and over again. And like I said, these same cuts over and over and over again just always get stuck on my board. There we go. So we are going to do this 8 times because I need 8 of each color. Can you see what I'm doing down here? Does it see me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was seeing me. Alright, so I'm going to do, that's 1. And I'm just going to go down here 8 times at 2.5 inches. Remember, I said I'm starting from the absolute beginning, so this is what we're doing from the absolute beginning. Okay. Okay. The husband will be going in and out. We're just trying to make sure that my feed stays on. And it seriously is just notching up this 2.5 inches right here. Little itty bitty pieces. There's 2. Why does that look so big? It's not though. It's so weird. Sometimes 2.5 inches looks bigger than 2.5 inches. That's the funniest thing. And if I keep looking over, it's because I'm checking comments just in case. And line it up just right. It's nice and windy today too, so you guys get to hear my wind chimes instead of music. The same spot. I was cutting sideways, so it's the same couple lines every time. Almost halfway. So I'm starting from the absolute beginning. I haven't even opened the jelly rolls. But we'll do that in a minute. Let me just get all 8 of these strips cut. Yeah, the same ones over and over. Oh, that one went pretty good. I'm on number 5 cut. So wind chimes and a hammer is my new music, guys. Are you kidding me? I hate when this happens. It went all that way. All that way. And it still didn't cut it. It's time for a new blade, isn't it? I just put one on like 3 weeks ago. But that customer quilt of mine has got a lot of stuff going on. Hi, Anna. Let's see, is there any more on here? Alright. Got another one. that one went. And don't mind me, you guys know that I don't always close my rotary cutter blade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Cutting 8 from 3 different colors. 8 strips of each color, which is pretty much almost a half a yard. It's like right at it, like literally right at it. This little same spot. It's like there's a line right here or something from me side cutting on the table. All right, there's our 8 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we got 7. How did I mess that up? 1 more. How did I do that? See, it's a good thing I'm paying attention, guys, or I wouldn't have had enough. Hi, Vicky. There's that line again. Time to scrub this mat too, because it's at the, let's see what number. It's about like the 19-inch line. All right. Now let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's 8. I got a bit of a little mess going on here. Now I'm just going to take each color and stack it into its own color pile. So I just kind of pull it from the top, grab the next piece at the top part, keeping them together. Just going to separate them. I'm kind of glad that I switched to white. Usually I don't use whites, but this time I will be. I mean, I do sometimes. But black is always my go-to pop color, like it always has been, ever since I started quilting. I think the dark colors always highlight every color of the rainbow, even with pastels. So, how's everybody doing today? Is everybody ready for this? Because this is going to be non-stop all day, off and on, all day long of me putting this together. Alright, and I'm going to take my yardage, the leftover, which is about 15.5 inches left. That's because my yards weren't exact. And I'm just going to fold it up nicely, and I'm going to go put it over on the other side. Alright. Here's where we're going to be starting a chart, which hopefully will not blow away, so I'm going to use the iron to hold it down. I'm going to turn this just a little, guys. Move my weight over. There we go. Alright. Glad you got the P.O. box. Husband is amazing. Yep. Well, we figured, because I've been getting a lot of emails and messages on my Facebook through my quilting page, and messages on my Instagram asking for my address, and a couple people I have given my address to, which is okay. I talk to them on a regular basis off of YouTube, you know, but I kind of felt, because we own a daycare and we have, it's not just the same 2 girls that you guys have met, but we've had lots and lots of kids here, and personally, both of us felt that it was more appropriate to just do a P.O. box instead of using our personal address, only because YouTube is not private at all. YouTube is 100% public, and we didn't want just random people, I don't know, it was one of those things, it's just a personal preference. So we decided to just get me a P.O. box. So now I have a P.O. box for you guys to, if you want to send me a letter in the mail or a thank you note or something, I don't know. I have no idea. I just figured it'd be easier because I have gotten mail from a couple people already. So, plus I can use the P.O. box for all sorts of things. So, it makes it a little easier. Alright guys, here's the part we all dread to do. Opening the jelly rolls. So, I'm hoping that my view is good because I'm going to angle the camera down in a second. But I'm going to show you. I just pinch it, and grab it, and pull it, and rip the plastic off. And this one's not my regular trash. This one is my not regular trash. I'll throw it over there. So we have these beautiful, I'm using, it's a multitude of color rainbow. And so you guys remember the table runner I just did? These pretty much, I think, are the bigger, these are the strips of that table runner, I think. New Wave. This is Benetech's New Wave. I'm 100% sure this is what my table runner was made out of. These are just the jelly roll version. And I'm just gonna put the camera down so you can see me undoing it. I hope that's a good view. I found a dominant color. So this is the most dominant color, and that's going to be where I pull from and unroll. So starting out with my red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And guess what? I'm probably going to leave mine in this exact color formation because it's really, really nice. So again, I'm going to, I don't know why I even untie that part. Just lift it up and go. Yes. Yeah, it's, I don't know. We were just personal preferencing things, guys. So, all right, I'm going to find this red. That's where I'm going to pull my roll from. And this is these are the same colors, Scott?
Yeah.
These are the same as the table runner that I just did.
I like it.
Yeah, it's just the jelly roll version. So I already know what all these look like, so I'm like super excited to do it. So you guys see, really good array of colors here to work with. And they're going to blend because there's like a lighter version and a darker version of each one. I don't know if you guys can tell how well you can tell on the camera, but there's good enough lighting in here. I'll probably switch it up though, but this is it. So this is how we're going to work this. Let's see how much of my area you guys can see. I'm going to have to move this because I need you guys to be able to see quite a bit of what I'm doing here. Is this a good enough angle? Can you see this whole map?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's it come.
So this is what we're going to do, guys, and I'm following my own directions here at the same exact time. So I'm going to take both of these and I'm going to put all these matching colors together. So those three go together. I'm going to keep all these like colors together. Remember I said that's why we wanted matching colors? I'm going to put them all together. So in reality, you would have 4 of each color. Mine have some with 3 prints, but you know what? We're going to make this work for me as well. And I'll show you guys, obviously. So I'm just pulling these out. Looks like 2, 3, because this gets lighter, but these are all the same color arrangement. Well, I guess these 2 are this and this 2 is this. This is going to be awesome because that table runner actually looks really cool. So I'm putting all my colors together so that it's easier for me to pull from it. Slide these out of the way because I need to go up higher. Stack them on themselves. Such nice colors. There was one out of order. Lighter greens. And just remember these, some of you guys' jelly rolls are going to have those pinked edges. So sometimes the pinked edges are a little bit bigger and the measurement will go, let's see how close to the camera I can get so you guys can see. Where's my ruler? There it is right here. All right. So you can see that it's on the ruler. Let's see if this is clear. Can you see it? Okay. So these pinked edges, sometimes if you lie it on a ruler, these are actually within the two, nope, they stick out. So these, the outer part of the pinking, if you guys can see, is actually past that 2.5-inch line.
Perforations mean pinking, is that what you mean?
Pinking is perforated.
Okay.
It's not perforated because you can't tear. It's pinking to keep it from fraying.
Oh, okay.
It's pinking shears.
Make sure you explain that because I didn't know that.
Yes. For those of you who don't know what the pinking edges are, it's pinking shears. They're scissors or a rotary cutter that has zigzags, tons of zigzags, and when you make a cut, it zigzag cuts it. So these pinked edges, these ones are seeming to be, if I have that lined up with the outer side on here, it's sticking out. So the inside of the V of this pinked edge, the inside of it is actually the 2.5 measurement from the inside to the inside. So for those that are beginners, the inside to the inside of this pinking line, you can check if you want to, but it's like, it's literally not even a millimeter of difference, honestly. Like, they really come out. If you sew a scant 1/4 of an inch, it will be okay. You know what I mean? So just letting you know that not all jelly rolls are cut the same. There are some that don't have the pinked edges, which I prefer because this is what those pinked edges are doing. If you see my shirt, it's colorful. It leaves powder all over me from the fabric, little fabric nodules all over me. It's kind of funny, actually. So that's what the pinked edges are, and it just prevents fraying. Yeah, I saw earlier 93 subscribers. Last night it was at 90, so I got 3 since last night. It was kind of cool. Super excited. Hubs and I are going out when I hit 100. Gosh, bag on this side yet.
Okay.
I just have my fabric that I'm using for the
well,
dog bed stuffing.
It's our internet. It's hooked up right there. There's the box. Here's your extender. Our internet's not good. Okay, you're back on.
This one's still spinning. Sometimes it doesn't catch up. It still goes, right?
Yeah, you're on. You're playing.
All right, guys.
Susan says you're back.
So I got them all lined up, which almost before it started buffering, and I am literally covered in dust. So make sure. Okay, here's another tip for beginners. When you're working with pre-cuts and jelly rolls that are pinked, or even layer cakes and charm squares and so on with pinked edges, make sure that you're working on a surface that you can hand sweep it off into your hand and then put it into the trash, and or I mean carpet, you'd have to vacuum it up. It's going to get into the carpet. And to animals, the fabric pieces that come off, it's dander to them, just like their cat hair and dog hair is dander to us. Our fabrics is going to be dander to them, and this they can inhale. So, or if you have small babies, make sure you have a clean surface area that that you can make sure you wipe it right into something so that you're not making too much of a mess, because you don't want your little ones and animals breathing this in. It is fabric, and it will probably go in one end and out the other, but it might not be too safe in inhaling it into the lungs. So just thought I'd let you guys know. Make sure that you have an area that you can clean up. Also,
Susan uses a lint roller or a Swiffer duster.
Yeah, that works too. I'm in the garage, so technically we just push broom or use the big shop vac, because I have a shop vac out here, and we just clean it up. So, all right, now that we have all these range of colors, and I already said that we're going to start with this, and I'm kind of going to keep them in order because it seems to be radiating pretty well. I don't think I'm really going to switch anything around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole entire pile. Oh, you need a good work surface, guys. If you're doing it on the floor, that would be great. This first part is the layout of where everything's going to sit, and I should have turned it the other way. What am I thinking? This way. Where you want it to start. Second tip, the folded corners, or the folded part of your jelly roll strip, you want facing to you. So when you're going to lay out your design, you want that folded part to you. Okay? All right, so let's get started. Okay. I think it's working again. Okay. I was saying I'm hoping that I don't have to do this all day long with this whole buffing thing. I have no idea what the heck is going on here. It happened last night and it's happening again today. I don't know what the heck is up with this, but all right. So here we go. What I was saying before, I think it was, I'm going to bring this in closer to me so I can tell, is you want those the fold side closest to you. There's going to be a reason for this, because remember how I said we're making this in panels? Hey, Sinead. All right, well, bear with me. Bear with me, please, guys. It's not my fault that we have crappy internet. Once I'm able to like start making real videos, recording them and then putting them on here once I get a new camera, then I won't have to deal with this all the time, you know, but I don't know what's happening. We have really high winds today, so that's all I can tell you. It's really windy, so you'll hear the wind chimes. It's making up for the music that I can't play. All right, guys, so, okay, again, now we're going to take two pieces, because this is our top row. We're going to be working with the top section. So two like pieces. I'm kind of going to scoot these over just a smidge more. I hope everyone is having a good day. All right. So technically this is the top row, but I'm going to make two stacks, okay? So we're going to do section 1 and section 2 of the top row. So the top row is going to be 2 jelly roll lengths in full long, okay? But technically we're doing it in panel sections because we're making this super simple. So here's our first color. Then I'm going to come in and grab, see, and this is why we wanted 2 of the same, because now the bottom is going to have its pieces as well. So now we're going to take 2 more. One's going to go with the top, and one's going to go with the bottom. Now, I'm going to keep going here. The top section has 21 pieces, okay, for the top section. We're going to go, where am I starting? Let's see. 1, 2, okay, so piece 2 was our pop color. So sorry about that. Piece 2 is the pop color. I have to look at my chart. So 1 color, and then 2 starts the pop color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Ah, can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Making sure I got this right. I got to keep referring to my chart, guys. 2. Okay. So the second piece is our pop color number 1. Pull from whatever color that you feel is necessary. So pop color number 1 is the second piece. Sorry, I had to go back and look at my chart. Then the next piece. Okay. So 21 pieces includes our pop color. So let's get this correct again. 1 piece, pop color, next piece. 1 piece, pop color, next piece. Because this is all the top row. It's just being done in quarter panels. Okay? So we're going to grab the next one. We're going to go all the way up to, let's see, how many in between? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's the 7th one. Okay. So I already did these 2 colors. I'm going to move them out of the way and grab the next 2. And they're flowing pretty darn good, so one there and one here. I'm going to put these in this pile. And we're going to grab two more, one here and one here. I don't know if that's radiating enough, but we'll see in a second. And then we're going to grab two more. One for this one. I think it's radiating well enough for me. Okay, two more. One for this pile. One for this pile. You want to make sure that the two piles that you're making with one strip in each pile are exactly the same. And I'm just moving each next piece out of the way over here in my secondary pile. I'm going to lean this up a little bit so I can see comments. Hi, Tammy. All right. Now we're going to grab, let's see how many we're doing. I'm counting, by the way, I'm counting off a grid paper. So I'm just making sure I keep counting off of this to my piece number. So number 2 and piece number 9 will be a pop color. So that's the second one, piece 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to put an 8th piece here. So grab two more, one for each pile. 8. Let's see. Let's try this again. 1. That's number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And piece 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Piece 9. So this next piece is our pop color again. So your second pop color is going to come in, and I think I'm going to put the white right here, honestly. So I'm going to grab two of my whites. And put one in each pile. Hi, Sandy. All right. All right, so what am I at now? Number 9. So the next one will be piece 17, which gets a pop color. So we're at 9. Let's grab two more. So this will make piece 10. I'm going to have to tighten this up a little, I'm running out of space, but I still want to make sure I can see my numbers and count them. Okay, so I know you guys are probably getting confused. So again, first piece is from the jelly roll. Second piece is pop color. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th piece are all from the jelly roll. 9th piece is the pop color. 10th piece is from the jelly roll. And we're making 2 piles of the same exact, one in each pile from everything. I'm just radiating the colors on down. And I'm throwing my pop colors in. Only one strip per each side of the pile, because this is going to be 2 panels and this is going to be 2 panels. This is going to help any kind of bowing, and it's going to make sewing so much easier. Trust me, trust me, trust me. This is how I did that other one so fast. Alright. Let's grab the next 2 pieces. So remember, just one for one pile, one for the other. That's why I said we needed 2 matching. In the colorway of the jelly roll, you have to have the 2 matching, because if you can't make a top and the whole top panel. You can have 40, 20 different colors in a 40-piece jelly roll, but as long as 2 of those colors are the same in each thing. Mine had 3 of the same in some of them, but we're going to work those in on mine. But I'm just saying, for beginner purposes, you want 2 of each color in your jelly roll. Hi, Sandy. I think I just said that though, didn't I? Alright. Trying not to mix these colors up so totally too much because I need to be able to grab from them later for the next section. Again, we're grabbing another color. I'm throwing it in there. And I'm just going to keep moving it out of the way. Wow, Tiffany, almost 100 subscribers. Yep, almost. I'm going to move this up here because I'm having a hard time like seeing the screen from that far away. I'll make it work though with both my weights. Yes, it's very cool. I'm almost at 100. All right. I need to move this pile more and more because they're getting long. All right, now for the next one. I'm going to grab 2 more pieces of a different color. And lay 1 on each pile. So this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we're going to 17 for the next. Grab another one, another 2, I should say. 1 for each pile. Hi, Sandy. Alright guys, so I haven't done anything, I'm just kind of organizing my pile that it was messed up. So I'm at, let's see, 1, 2, okay, so let's go backtrack again. Is it still going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Backtracking again. 1 piece, okay, piece 1 is from the jelly roll, 2 is one of our pop colors, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are from the jelly roll. Piece 9 is a pop color. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 are from the jelly roll. Number 17 is the pop color. 18, 19, 20, and piece 21 will be from the jelly roll, which I need to grab another piece because I ran out of colors, so I'm trying to think of which one should be thrown in on this. And I'm kind of thinking going back the opposite way, but I don't want to confuse myself. So let's go with orange. And then the bottom side will have a color that the top side won't. This is why I wanted 2 of every color. That's why I made sure I told everybody 2 of each color. All right. So here is for the top and top. Both these are for the top. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to fold these out of the way so we can create, actually we'll just get started on these because it makes it easier. What I'm going to do, and this is very important, is to make your strip, your selvages are lined up, guys. We want to make sure they're lined up, and I'm going to run my fingers down without stretching, pulling, or tugging, making sure that they're straight. Hold it, and I am going to snip every single one of these in half. 1. Then I come over here, and those are lined up. Some of them are perfectly lined up, some of them aren't. So I'm just making sure you guys know to make sure that they are lined up. And I just hold it at that spot. Sometimes it doesn't come at the part where the jelly roll was lined, and I am just snipping them in half. See, this one was way off. So I'm just snipping them in half. This is going to make this process go so much faster. This one I just pressed, so it's good. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that my selvages are lining up. So like this one, even though I know where it goes, see how that selvage didn't line up? We want that equal amount. So I'm going to just use my fingers to roll it. Okay? Putting it back in its place though, just so that we don't lose its spot. You're trying to keep them in order. Now if you want, I'm not going to, but you can, you can actually go ahead and put your little number tags. I know a lot of you have those little sticky things. You can put your little sticky tags on all of your pieces and number them if you want to. Actually, I might just throw a little pin on them or write the number on the selvage, which actually I should just do that real quick. You can use a Sharpie. Can you pass me that Sharpie behind you? I'll just write it on the selvage. That way I know. Thank you. I'm just lining them up and I'm cutting them directly in half. Making sure that they're selvage to selvage though, because we need to utilize every last inch of these. Let me tell you, every last inch is going to be used. That looks pretty good. So I'm just sliding them in half with my scissors. And this is actually the best way to do any Bargello. I know there's patterns out there that call for different orders and ways of doing it, but this way I have found to be the most simplest way to do it. And this is how I have been doing it every time I have now made one, because I've done it several times now. That's good. So I just kind of use my finger to roll it to find the center and squeeze the scissors up in it. Like this one was way off. Slide it in, trim it. This is the part that takes the longest, is the prep. You guys understand what I'm doing? Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, yeah.
My husband is there to read since I can't really see.
Yeah, okay, you're back on. Maybe that's why your viewers aren't as many, because our internet is dying on us for some reason.
Alright, so I'm going to lay these back down where they were.
Apologize to them.
I'm sorry guys for this internet and stuff today. I'm going to flip these up and I'm going to write with my Sharpie a 1, a 2, 3, and so on. So I know what piece I'm on. And I'm not writing on the fabric, I'm writing on the selvage. That's probably the best way to do it for beginners, is to number them.
You got 8 people watching now. They're jumping up the longer we actually stay online.
See, that's why I told you guys this is the process that takes the longest. What am I at? 15, so I'm at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. And again, I'm just going to number these real quick before I even cut them in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, was that 6? Okay. Okay. 7, 8, 9. I'm going to go back over it again. Piece number 2, number 9, and number 17 are the pop colors. 11. And like I said in my description, if any of you read it, I'm sorry in advance if this turns out to be a crappy quilt. But if it turns out crappy, you know, it's great for a donation quilt. But I'm hoping that what was in my mind and what's on paper actually turns out pretty darn awesome, like my last one. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There should be 21 pieces per 2 piles. By the way, 18, let's see, 19, 20 and 21.
So
So
that makes 42 pieces total.
yes, review for section number 1. This is all one section, but we're doing it in 4 panels. So this will make 2 panels, and this will make 2 panels. Okay, just we're trying to keep it small and beginner friendly. So section, this whole area, these are 21 pieces here and 21 pieces here. These are all for the top row, so make sure they're all in order. The 2nd, the 9th, and the 17th piece are the pop colors, okay? And we are numbering them. I'm numbering them just in case on this one, and it's probably best if you do too, I guess. Just write it on the selvage, or you can take a little stick-em note if you guys have those fabric stickies. I don't seem to have any of those because I don't waste my time with them, honestly, but that's personal preference. Personal preference. I'm just writing with a Sharpie on the selvage only, so you guys don't need the selvage anyway. So I'm numbering them 1 through 21. Piece 2, 9, and 17 are your pop colors, okay? So this is the top section, and now all I am doing is making sure that my pieces are selvage to selvage ends, because some of them aren't always perfect with jelly rolls, and I'm snipping them directly in half because I need all the space I can get, but we are doing them in sections. I'm going to roll that up and make it easier. If you have a bigger workspace or something, that would be nice. I do have this big huge table, which makes things so much easier. If you have to work on the floor or a kitchen table, that is just fine, as long as you can put each section together for the prep part. This is just the prep part. The sewing part shouldn't take and or be as long. The prepping part and the after the sewing and stuff, that is actually the parts that take less time, or more time, is the prepping and the secondary take it apart and put back together again. It's the thing that we do. We take perfectly good fabric, chop it up, and sew it back together again, and this is what we get. Awesomeness. Well, we'll see in the end how awesome this turns out, but got a picture. I've got a picture of my face. Great big hand blood. Kitty cat top. So you're working on the one of my tutorials, Vicki. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with you guys' comments as best as I can, but I'm also trying to concentrate, and I want to make sure that you guys are paying attention as well when you actually start doing this. For those of you that aren't following right now, but you follow along later, make sure that you are concentrating as you go, because you don't want to mess any of this up. The key to a good Bargello is paying attention. Let me tell you, I know this because in my second one, I was kind of in a hurry and I messed up a few times, so I had to rip it apart to get it right, because it was actually for a customer the second time I did a Bargello. But every other time I've paid plenty close attention to. So I'm just sliding these, making sure that my selvage lines up, because like I said, we're trying to get every inch, every centimeter of this fabric. Like seriously, my numbers are exact. And this is my numbers are based on 40, some fabrics are 4-inch, but I guesstimated with the selvage out, so I'm cutting at least 40 inches we need in full for both sides. Just thought I'd share that bit of information with you guys. Oh, and secondarily, let's repeat, we are using 3 pop colors. Those 3 pop colors, you need 8 strips of each color, 2.5-inch strips to go along with your jelly rolls. Reason for that is because they're going in the top and bottom. But I think I just confused myself by trying to explain to you guys for a second while I'm doing this. Like I said, I'm trying to pay attention at the same time. So, 2, 3, 4. Why did I cut 8? See, This video not working thing has got me all screwed up. Now, okay, this video issue today has got me super duper screwed up. So I'm going to show you guys a quick and simple, easy way to move, but keeping your pieces exactly where you want them and taking them over to the next, so you can get the next pieces prepped. I take my ruler and I slide it under the long 6x24, then I lift it up like this, keeping them all together, and then I'm going to go lay them somewhere else temporarily where I can pick them back up in the same way that I laid them down. Okay? So I'm moving them over onto the mid-arm frame. You guys didn't notice, but obviously I got to do it just this frame to get it out of the way so I can utilize the whole table. But my frame rolls now, so I gotta block it. And it's not seeming to want to stop. There we go. Okay. So again, I'm taking my 6x24 inch ruler, I'm sliding it under this, lifting them up just like this, and I'm taking them over to another area and temporarily laying them down. And I'm just kind of rolling them back to the way they need to go temporarily. Out of my way so that we can do the next section. All right, the bottom section is going to go the opposite way. That is right. We're going the opposite way now. So, we're going to start with piece 1, which will be the top piece, but it's going to be backwards than the front piece, if you understand what I'm saying. So when it comes together in the quilt, the pieces will come opposite of each other, so that the top, they continuously go with each other. Just, you'll understand. So the first piece is pop color. So we're going to call pop color A red, because that's what I used first, and our first one starts with pop color A, which I totally should have wrote that. You can put A, B, and C on your pop colors if you want. She's got 7 people watching and 7 thumbs up. That's awesome. Like seeing that? Yeah. Alright, so pop color A is my red. For you guys, pop color A was your second piece from the top section. Okay? My pop color A is my first piece now for my bottom section. Okay? And now I'm going to go backwards because I ended with purple or orange. I'm going to go back the opposite way that I just did. And if you need to look back at your other pieces, go ahead and do so. I just set them out of the way so I can see them. So I'm going to go backwards by grabbing a bottom piece. This section will have 19 pieces. Okay? So piece number 1 is pop color A. So one of your 3 pop colors, whatever one was your second piece on the top section, is now coming to the bottom. It's A. So mine just so happens to be red. I should have told you guys that in the beginning. So I have an orange. I am going to grab this color right here. I'll just use this color, screw it. I'm going to take 2, just like so, because I'm making 2 piles, and I'm starting the opposite way. So I'm going to be laid here. We're going to repeat the process, but backwards. So we're going to go all to piece 8, because piece 8 will be the next pop color, which my B pop color is white. So I should just put them in order like this. Red, white, and blue. Hey, did you guys even notice that? My pop colors are red, white, and blue. I just like totally took a second look and went, oh wow, that's what I just did. All right, now I'm repeating the process but backwards. So I'm going into my purples first. I had one random piece and now I'm going into my purples. One for each pile. Okay, now the next one, the next purple color, which is darker. So I'm going to piece 8. See how these are totally not lined up? We're going to make sure when we do that cutting that we slide that over, see? So that they both meet up together. That's just re-showing you guys how I did that. Next color. You know what, I think I'm going to pull this out and call that the first piece, and throw that on the end. I'm looking over at my other thing at the same time, guys, so don't mind me. This is part of your organizing colors. You're going to pull and put back and pull and put back until you feel that you have it the right way. But now I'm actually just going in the order backwards from the order that I went in the first time. So I'm just grabbing my pieces in order the opposite way. Are you guys there? Okay, it's there. Alright. So piece 1 starts with the pop color, and piece 8 starts with pop color, and I was going too fast for myself. So I'm going to throw my pop color in, and throw these on top. This whole internet crapping out over and over again is literally kind of messing me up in a little kind of way, and I'm hoping that it's not confusing to anybody, but I can go back through it over and over and over again, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just keep repeating myself and what I have done up to that point, and if anyone has any questions at all, please, please, please just ask them, because I'm seriously super duper sorry that this keeps happening. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's the internet, and we can't help that. So I'm going to piece 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Piece 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, it doesn't seem like I have that many pieces going. It kind of looks dumb. I should have just put my pop colors in a row. One. So the bottom section is piece 1, piece 8, and piece 14 is a pop color. And it seems to be sitting in a totally wrong section. Well, see, we don't, okay, Sandy, we live, we're rural, blah, I can't say the word, rural Arizona. We live in a far out area that has one highway to get in and out of our town. There is no other way unless you take the lake, which follows along the highway, to get out of town. So, yeah, we only have 2 internet services that we can even get in our area. Like some people have like 5 or 6 different options. We only have 2, which is quite annoying. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah. So. Oi, oi, oi. So let's see. I need 19 in this section. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 in this section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 in this one. So these are exactly the same. They're just backwards from the top, which they're not ending the way they should have, because I wanted it to end with that pink, but that's actually kind of good. And my green got put in a different section, but am I sure I went that color first? Yeah, I did. Red, white, and then green. Red, white, and green. Yep, okay. So piece in the second segment, which is going to be the bottom. So the first time I did this is the whole top, all 4 panels is what we're making. And now we're at the bottom section, which will make 4 panels again. Okay. Piece 1, piece 8, and piece 14 are the pop colors. And I'm going to go ahead and number these all over again. And I'm just going to tip it up. And they're just going to start from 1, obviously. So 1, and I'm going to put an A on my pop color just so that I remember that that was where it's supposed to sit. 2, 3, and I'm writing it on the salvage. 4, before I even cut. 5, and I'm hoping that it doesn't cut out again. I'm so sorry in advance. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the top has 21 and the bottom has 19. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. I'm going to go ahead and do these ones as well. I'm wondering, yeah, we don't even barely have 3G here. Well, sometimes it doesn't even barely hit. That's why, like, when you guys see me make videos when I'm out and I try to make videos and they're absolutely not visible, that is because we don't even hit 3G where we are. We are still kind of in the past and they're trying to bring us up to the future. Like, I don't even think we have very many fiber optic options here yet, you know? Yeah, we're kind of behind. So, you'd think I think if they keep it that way because we are an elderly community, and elderly people are usually out golfing or on the lake. They're not at home on the internet like us young people. Nothing against it, guys. Nothing at all. I don't mean nothing against it, but in reality, it's a retirement community, you know, so people come here to do the fun things that aren't at home, like, well, you know, being on the internet and watching TV and video, you know, playing video games and whatever else is, you know, computer stuff on the internet. They don't understand it yet, so I don't know. They don't even, most of the elderly still have flip phones, and some of you guys already know this, you know. I mean, I still have an old phone. I'm stuck in the past on my phone. And I'm kind of glad because I've seen some of these newer ones. My daughter was flipping through her stuff on her phone way faster than I could even conceive doing. So we're kind of stuck in the past still. 90% of the houses in this town are all electric as well. Nothing, there's not very much gas in this town because of the, I don't know why, but it's very rare to find a gas home in this town. But only one highway in and one highway out. Try not to lose my number order, because I'm like forgetting as I go. And if you want to switch anything out, this is the time to do it when you haven't really done too much of the cutting and stuff and you haven't started sewing. 18 and 19. So let's start over again. There is 21 pieces, one in each for the top section that we already put aside, and now we're at the bottom section, which is 19 pieces. Those 19 pieces do include your strips. So yeah, that is where we are at. And the pop colors on the top section that we did, and we cut them in half, remember that. The top section again is piece 2, piece 9, and piece 17. On the bottom is piece 1, piece 8, and piece 14. I really, really wish that I could have made a PDF or something of this for you guys. So, but unfortunately I couldn't. And here is my leftover strips, 2 of each color of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. Now, if you want to make it bigger, you need to put an equal amount in. Right now, we're just doing what I did, but if you wanted to, you need to have an equal amount of pieces added to that top section and the bottom section for those of you that need it to be bigger. Now, my estimated size of this, where did I put that paper, is 59 by 76 with 2 jelly rolls, surprisingly. So, but if you wanted to make it bigger, each section needs an equal amount of pieces, but that top section has to have more than the bottom. Just letting you know. But I wouldn't suggest it because then it just knocks everything off. Yes, I love the old phones too. Gee, I have this chain to hurt in your body more if you go left behind. I hope not, but from what I understand, no. Do a test today. That said, I went for eat McDonald's if I was starving. I was hungry today. I ate a Big Mac. You know what, Cindy? I actually love Big Macs. That's my favorite. That and French fries. I am in love with McDonald's French fries. I used to go all over town. I guess I can talk and cut at the same time. I used to go all over town just to go get French fries. I'd get a burger from like Jack in the Box or, you know, Carl's Jr. or something, and I would go to McDonald's just for the fries. Like, I don't know why I used to do that. Again, I'm just lining up my selvages because I really, really need as much of the fabric as possible. So I'm just making sure those are lined up before I make my center cut, which is not always in the center when it comes to jelly roll strips, but we're going to make it that way. Because we're trying to get as many strips as possible. So, for any of you who are following along, please let me know if you are confused in any way so far, because I know a lot of you went and bought the fabric to do this. That way, if anything, I can walk you through it step by step on one-on-one videos if you need. But I will always go back through everything through the steps today. Let me get this section done and I'll get to the next part, and then you guys can be on your own while I'm on my own, because I will be doing this for a while, but I'm gonna have to take a potty and smoke break sooner or later, because you guys know me, I can't be on forever, but I'm gonna be off and on all day today.
throughout the whole day. And I never slept last night, so I'm kind of wired from not sleeping. It's what happens when I don't sleep. My brain just starts going crazy. But this is how I end up finishing quilts in record time. Obviously, my internet connection screwing up and having to re-go over things is the only thing that is slowing me down, guys. But I'm going to do my best to get this done. And you guys could still go back and watch the videos to do it. I'm trying to keep these pieces out of the way. This one was really off, so if it's not on the fold, just cut away from it. You'll have a little line, but that's okay because when you press everything later, it'll all be just fine. Because there is pressing involved in this. And we will get to all that when it's time to press. Oh, that's fine. Is there anyone else here? I'm here working. That's cool. But I like to working with some morning hubby filling and half a tub and out his head. He okay. Ooh, that sucks, Vicky. I'm sorry. At 3 a.m. Yeah, that sucks. I was out here working. My daughter came over last night and started on her quilt last night. She was here until about 3 a.m., maybe even later. She got started, but I made her put it all in a box so that it wouldn't get in my way of doing my projects. Told her she needs to get it done, though, because it can't just sit in here. I'm not going to allow it. Yeah, I kind of don't like these two oranges right next to each other. And I already cut that one. What number is this? 18. Give me a second, guys. I'm looking at something. Darker and it's browner. Darker and it's browner. I guess it'll be okay. It's darker. The colors change throughout. It's kind of browner, but I kind of just want it to go to the pink. Oh well, I'm just going to leave it. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, I'm just going to flip these up. Start going this way. Jesus Christ. Yep. Wow, this one's really off. You guys see that? Like, you want these two to meet up. So I'm just going to slide it down and slide that whole piece without yanking on it too much. I'm going to slide it to that end and I'm going to hold the selvages together. That way I get a good enough cut. That really folded back quite a bit. This one. Some of them line up just right, but you never know. Fabric is never straight, ever. Like, no matter where I bought it from, fabric stores, Walmart's, Joann's, it is never straight. And never do they cut it straight either. I don't know, some of our quilt shops, one of them they cut really, really straight. The other one, I'm not sure because I actually haven't bought fabric at their quilt store yet. I bought notions, but not fabric. But yeah, this bulk stuff, when you buy these pre-cuts, they're rarely in good, like, in a nice cutting form. Guys, helps baldness? How does it help baldness? Help going bald or help cure baldness? Kind of curious now. Because my husband's bald. But he don't eat McDonald's French fries. He actually hates fast food. He doesn't mind going to restaurants, but he doesn't actually like fast food places. Anna was just saying, fun fact, McDonald's French fries helps baldness. So I was curious, waiting for her answer to see what it helps, if it helps hair grow or hair loss. Because you have hair loss, but you don't eat McDonald's.
I don't eat fast food.
Well, that's why I was just telling them that you don't eat fast food. And if you do, it's because there was too much, like I'd buy too much or something, and didn't eat all my food.
Someone was texting me about that. I was trying to sleep, but they were texting me about his golf cart. So and Laughlin, I said I don't want to come down to this weekend anymore.
Is this still going? Because there's not
Yeah.
been.
There's 6 people watching. 7 likes. You had 8 out here.
That's because everybody that gets on will like it.
Yeah, but you had 8 people on there. So
Oh. It doesn't look too stupid with these 2 oranges, right? Because one is more of a burnt orange and one's starting to brighten up.
Honestly, I thought those 2 were the same color.
Nope. 2 totally different. Well, they are. They're just sitting differently. They're cut differently. But
Well,
that's the
maybe
way
you
I did
wanna-
the front.
Why don't you throw one in between the greens then, since you have 2 greens?
But then I'd have to change the top too.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Then do it your way.
I'm just having.
I'm not a color person. You know me. To me, those 2 oranges look the exact same. I thought you had 2 of the same.
Yeah, it's a treat for, yes, it's a treat for us too. Trust me. When we're both Social Security and VA, can't afford to even put food in our house. So just like that whole, when we get to 100 subscribers, once I hit that 100 subscribers, it's going to be great to finally go to the steakhouse, because we only do it for birthdays and anniversaries.
Well, that we have kids and we do daycare, so it's hard to get out. Our own kids and other people's kids.
Yep. Write this down. That's piece number 1. And I'm going to use this out of the way today. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is my little handy dandy trick, guys. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to slide it under here. And I'm going to take this section and put it next to the side where I put the other ones. But I'm going to keep it kind of separate just because I want to be able to know that this is the next section, although I know this is the bottom section because it's separate. But I'm going to move all these over and I'm going to grab section 1 and bring it over to the sewing machine. And we will get started with that next part. So section 1, I'm just sewing back up in the order that it's in. I hope you guys can hear me way over here. Alright, so here's my section 1. I'm going to bring it over to the sewing machine. These are still cut in half. I have not separated anything. Okay? We're going to do that part over at the sewing machine. So let me walk over there and then I'll bring everything else over there and turn the camera. So I'm just going to lay it right here. And I'm going to bring all this down with me. That way I can see. Alright guys, see how the lighting is over here, because it's kind of...
I'm getting off everything you can see. Camera. I don't want to be in the camera. Oh yeah, you need light. No. You need more.
How much more?
A lot more than that, or else maybe shut that door. You have a glare. Big time. Okay, with the door shut it's a lot better, but you still ought to have one more light. Can we turn one of these around?
Oh, I'll just turn this on.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a lot better. I don't
Okay,
think
guys.
you need that one.
Can you see my face?
No, I don't know yet. You're moving around.
Just tip it up ever so slightly so we can see my face. But you guys still see right here. Alright, that's perfect.
Okay. You don't need that back light, are you?
No.
Okay, well, I'll
Alright,
turn it
guys.
off when I go in.
So here's the next part. I'm gonna put this over here just like so I can see. Alright, so these are still on my thingy, on my ruler. I'm going to bring it right here. I'm going to lift it, twist it, just like this, laying them right here. Okay, and then I'm going to put my ruler out of the way. This is now section 1 and 2. This is section 1, the first piece from 1 to 21. But it's the 2 pieces. They were cut in half. They are both still together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it just ever so slightly towards me because I'm going to be laying them back, but the opposite way. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to take piece 1 and piece 2, which is our backup color, and I'm going to move one out of the way, and I'm going to keep them right sides down. The bottom piece that was down, I'm going to keep it down. I need scissors. Little.
Which pair?
That's fine. No, I got some here. I just
Okay.
was talking to myself. Alright. Taking the top and the first one. Keeping my selvages together. So I'm going to put piece 1 right sides together with piece 2. I'm going to slide those selvages together, which some pieces are longer than others. You guys should know this. And I am going to make sure my machine is at the right stitch. And I'm going to lower my stitch length to the 2.0. And I'm making sure that my machine is at 1/4 inch. Now, if you need to know your 1/4 inch, take a ruler, slide it under, and lower your needle. Now I'm using a wood ruler, so I poked a hole with my needle, and it comes literally right before 1/4 inch. Now if I change my setting to a different one and lift it up and pull my needle down, just so you guys can see, now it landed on the exact 1/4 inch. So my brother SQ9285 is, the stitch is set on a 2. The stitch length is a 2.0 and the width is set at 6.0, which gives me 1/4 inch to the edge of my presser foot. Just thought I would share that bit of information. So I use a wood ruler, which gives me that perfect notch to know that I have it at my 1/4 inch setting. So I know it's always accurate. So we are going to start sewing down these at 1/4 inch. Now, okay, I was talking to myself again. Anyways, I measured my 1/4 inch. I know where my 1/4 inch seam is. And I am using a white thread because it kind of just goes with everything. You can use whatever color, but because I have a white piece in here, I'm just using white thread. It really doesn't matter. But I'm just going to, I have my selvages lined up at the bottom, and it's just ever so up, but I'm just going to throw it under here. I have my little seam guide, and I'm actually sewing with shoes on, so I sew a little bit different, but I have to wear my shoes because of a medical problem that has gotten worse in the last couple days, so I have to wear shoes to kind of, with braces, for me to be able to stand for long periods. So just thought I'd let you guys know. He already went inside, but I can answer it for you. His hobby is the gym. He was, for the longest time, he was a bodybuilder. But he doesn't anymore because he has pulled something between his neck and his, right, like in the back of his spine, between the shoulder, area. He pulled something and it's really been bothering him, and it's causing his arm to go completely numb out of the blue. And something happened with his elbows also. Like, let me tell you, this man would leg press over 1,000 pounds. He can do the dumbbell like one dumbbell in each arm, press up or whatever you call. I don't know the words for it. He would be able to tell you, but he can literally take one dumbbell in each hand, and those dumbbells can be 90 or 100 pounds each in one hand alone, which is, I guess, a hard thing to do. I don't remember how much he benches, but he benches a lot. But yeah, he does quite a bit of weight. I know he does body squats and all sorts of stuff, but he's not doing any more really bodybuilding. He's mainly light lifting and cardio, only until the doctor says otherwise. So he's trying to take it easy just in case he actually seriously hurts something. But he has the VA, and if anybody of you are veterans or know veterans and know how veterans suffer with VA service and medical service from being a veteran, yeah, he's got to wait a long time to even get diagnosed with something. It took them 3 weeks to give him the results to an X-ray, which X-ray results usually come back in a week or less. My X-ray results come in like within 3 days. So, but yeah, he's into bodybuilding. So, 100%. Obsessed with the gym, and even though he can't do what he likes to do and loves to do, he still goes to the gym every day. He gets up 5 o'clock in the morning, he's at the gym. So, all right, I'm going to start sewing. This is piece 1 with piece 2 right sides on top of it, sewing 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to put the pedal to the metal. I'm not pulling, tugging, or stretching. I have them laid nicely on top of each other, you know, like I literally aligned it to where they just sit nicely, and I'm just holding it, and I'm just letting my presser foot and my walking feed dogs and all that other stuff do the work for me. Going all the way down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off and slide this just ever so slightly over. Trying to condense this just a little bit because I really need to finger press. This is going to be highly important. Now, if you have a pressing mat next to you, I highly recommend you do that. But I am going to finger press. So my first seam is going to go down, which would be to the right. So I just sewed it top to bottom. I'm going to open it up and finger press it to know better. It would be towards your pot color. I am finger pressing it towards my pot color because this is going to help when you do actually get over to the iron. I mean, if you do iron right next to you, it's going to get long, so just know that you're going to have to stand, sit. So it's best if you just finger press it. They lay nice and flat because they are cut in half, which makes it so much easier. All right, so now I'm going to grab the next one, and I'm going to bring it over to me and put it right sides together. And I'm going to take that other one that was next to it and put that right, it's going to be right sides down still because they're stacking up over here to the side, which you guys can see the bottom half of it, just not the top half, because I really wanted you to see my face. So again, I'm going to come to the bottom because I'm trying to utilize as much of the fabric as possible, so I'm keeping all the salvages together. And I'm going to slide this piece, just sliding my fingers to align these right here, but the selvages are aligning. So I'm going to put them right sides together. I'm going to put this on the machine. I'm going to do the same thing over again. Just going to sew right there. I'm so not used to sewing with shoes on, let me tell you. It's the weirdest thing for me. I'm always in my slippers and or barefoot. It's just really hard to be barefoot in this garage because we do get scorpions, centipedes, spiders of all kinds. I've had so many spider bites on my feet, you wouldn't believe it. But we get all sorts of the weird, creepy, crawly critters. So most of the time I have socks on, in the winter time at least. And then I wear my slippers a lot, but I never wear actual shoes. And I'm wearing actual shoes, and it feels weird. Now I'm just holding this, letting the machine do the work. Yes, so you know, Sandy, it's horrible, horrible quality health insurance. The sucky part is he has to go out of town 90% of the time. From here, he catches a shuttle bus that takes them to Prescott. It takes a bunch of members at a time. And if he doesn't sign up for that shuttle bus, he either has to cancel his appointment or he is driving himself to Prescott, which sucks because we don't have the money. So, okay. Now this piece, we are going to finger press it to the pop color. So back to the opposite way, to the left. So I'll show you in a second. I'm just going to pull them apart with my fingers while finger pressing down. I'm separating the fabric, coming down. Okay, so look at the back side. Both of these now are both pressed in. Okay, you see that? They are both inward. Both going towards the pop fabric. Okay. All right. And just make sure your number is correct. 1, 2, 3. You're not grabbing the wrong number. Okay? So let's go to the next one. Alright, we're at piece number 4. So we're going to put one in this pile over here, keeping it on the bottom, just the way it came. And putting this one right sides together. I'm going to align the selvage side. The reason I'm doing that on every single piece is because I'm trying to get the most out of the fabric. And since this is piece 1 on the top, this is actually going to be the top. So this is the side we're going to cut from. Aligning those salvages gives us the best quality straight line possible. This end, I don't really care about, because if they're not straight, they're going to be like centimeters away. That's it. You know what I mean? They're not going to be that perfect. But we're trying to at least keep those selvages, because 90% of the time the selvage is the same width on every fabric. So, especially this brand, this is the Benertex. So, I'm going to bring it down. Sew it 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to hold it nice and straight. I'm just holding my hand down here at the bottom, keeping these pieces nice together. If you got to realign, stop and realign. But the machine is pretty much doing the work for me. I'm just trying to hold it nicely to keep them from shifting at all, you know. Pull it away, and now I'm going to, since I'm sitting at my machine, if you're sitting at your machine, I'm going to finger press this one towards the right. Okay, so towards the piece that you just sewn on. And I separate it with my fingers. I know you guys hate that sound. I actually hate it too, but I'm just doing it anyway to get it done correctly. All right, the next one is piece 5. So I'm going to put this on this pile, take this one over to me from the top, align the selvage end, line it all the way to the top. Now, remember those pieces that we had to find the center with? Some of those will have a fold. Make sure that fold is nice and up. So when you stick it to the machine, make sure it's laying flat instead of folded under. You don't really want that fold right there. So just make sure it's lying flat, just in case your pieces weren't aligned and you have a little fold. Just pull it out before you sew. What's my time on deck, guys? Since I can't see that screen. I don't want these to be too long of videos over and over again if people are still on part 1, you know. I want them to at least be good enough. Okay, so this one is going to be finger pressed to the left, or pressed with an iron. So I'm going to flip it this way, separate it, and just use my finger. I'm not really pushing hard, it's just my nail that's sound against the fabric because I'm on a wood desk. So that's what pretty much what it sounds like. But I separate the fabric when I do so. See how flat this is already laying though, guys? Look at this. This is literally so flat because I've been finger pressing as I go. Like it literally is as flat as can be. There is no bowing. That's why I split the Bargello quilts up into quadrants and panels. So there's 4 quadrants to 1 panel on the top, 4 quadrants to 1 panel on the bottom. It makes this process so much easier. So, all right, next piece, we're on number 6, and where I'm just going to repeat all the way through. And I'm going to check the time real quick, guys, see how long I've been on, because maybe I can, an hour and 46. Oh, that's not that bad. I thought it's already been like more than 2 hours. All right, so I'm going to align the selvages, and I'm just going to just sew and sew and sew. I'm going to try not to have to explain. I'll just tell you when I'm pressing. How's that sound? Which way that I'm pressing. I didn't even have my chart next to me, which is usually what I would do. But I just got done making one, but not this exact one, so. I'm just going to sew. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If any of you feel lost at all, just let me know. I can't slow down technically because you can still watch the videos, but I can answer your questions and go over anything that you would like to know. I'm hoping that I'm totally 100% getting this for you guys to follow. Okay, this one is going to go towards the right. So I'm just going to finger press this one to the right. I'm going to go ahead and grab the next one, laying one to one pile. The other one comes to me. Put the selvages together, line the top up, unfold any fold, lay it under there nicely, and go. Adjusting if you have to along the way. I do have to say that after this project, due to the pinking, the pinked process, not pink as the color, but pinking of the fabrics, due to that, it will put a lot more dust than normal into your machine. So make sure when you are finished with this project that you guys clean your machines out. You either vacuum it or blow it like I do, or vacuum it, or use the little lint thing. This, mine is kind of starting to fall apart though, but there's this little lint brush that goes with the machine. Mine's a big one, but they do have littler ones that are this big right here. You guys know what these are. These are the little lint brushes. They're great for in your machine. I use a big one. Helps me reach further and further in. All right, this one is being pressed to the left. I just pull the fabrics apart carefully. Nice, to where they lay nice and flat. Okay, see how flat this is already? This is like, it's going to be so easy when I go to press it. So let's go to the next one. Right sides together. Align up the selvage. Bring it up to the machine and sew. It's also good to make sure you have a full bobbin before you start and a full thing of thread, just in case. You would be surprised how much thread I actually go through making Bargello quilts compared to how much thread when I make a regular quilt with smaller pieces. All right, this one gets pressed to the right. All right, now for my next pop colors coming in. Right side. This one is going to get pressed to the left, which is actually working out perfect because this is a white and I didn't want to have to see any seam color behind it. And I purposely brought my chapstick out because I knew that the talking would make my lips super dry. I suffer from chapstick OCD. I am 100% addicted to my cherry chapstick and strawberry. I like cherry the best though. I use it all day, every day. So I actually brought it out here so that I can have it in the garage. Since I've noticed that my lips seem to be more chapped when I talk with you guys than any other time. It's kind of funny. Hold on. The kitty cat block. Kitty cat block. What was size? Are you okay, Vicky? Because I know I don't know if you're talking about the right one. The ones that I used the cat. Okay, hold on a second. Let me finger press this real quick in, and then I'll turn the camera around so you can tell me which quilt you're actually talking about. I'll hold one or two up so you can see, because there's a couple. One actually has cats on it and one doesn't, but it's made the same way, just smaller blocks. So give me a second. Let's lay this right here. Notice how flat it still is. Let me turn the camera around real quick to the other direction. Don't mind the wiggling and wobbling. I'm going to hold this right here. I'm going to hold up two quilts. Tell me which one it is, okay? The one that you're talking about. Okay, so there's these ones that actually have the cat fabrics in them. Okay, I made 3 of these and I did a tutorial on these, but obviously I made all 3. They're pretty much the same, so the tutorial was pretty much the same. Okay, so I made this one which has the cat fabrics. Okay, there's 3 of these that I made. And then I made this one, which is the same concept but different size, and these are not cat fabrics. So these are just these, when I made it, I was describing you the same way I made the cat quilt. So maybe that's what got you thinking it was the cat quilt. Yeah, these ones, this is a 4-inch block. Okay, this is a 4-inch by 1.5-inch sashing. And then this is a 4-inch by 1.5-inch sashing with a 1.5 by 1.5-inch cornerstone. And I built it with the cornerstone in. So when you get this piece right here, this block right here turns out to be a 5-inch block. If it doesn't turn out to a 5-inch block, then you did something wrong. You know what I mean? That it's finished size is 4.5, but it's 5-inch block when it's before it's put into the quilt. So I made both of these the same concept, but different sizes and different fabrics. This is my go-to simple sashing projects, because I make the sashing into the block. So yes, if it's this one, then yes. So yeah, 4-inch by 1.5, 4 by 1.5, and 1.5 by 1.5. That's what I started with. Okay, that's for that one. And then these are different. These are 6.5-inch blocks, 2-inch blocks by 6.5 by 2-inch, and 2.5, or I mean 2-inch by 2-inch. What am I thinking? I'm trying to, all these half numbers are killing me right now. So these ones are bigger. These ones turned out pretty much almost twin size. Well, they pretty much are twin size. So. And I got my big, huge quilt stack over here. All right, let me come back over here and I'll turn the camera around. Hey, Michelle. Hold on a second and I'll turn the camera around. I'm trying to like do 2 things at once. All right. Ah, darn it all. I gotta pick something up real quick, guys. That's my customer quilt and I can't have it on the floor, or else it's gonna be a bad thing because it's white. Trying to get it back to the same position it was in. All right. The wind is knocking everything down and around. Oh my God, this is a wonderful mess. Holy moly. I'll just leave it on the floor for now. For the quilt. The quilt I have to pick up. Stupid wind. Stupid wind. Give me 2 seconds, guys. The wind knocked this customer's quilt and all of its little pieces all over my floor. And because her quilt is white, I need it to stay off the floor. Okay. And now, it's just out of my way. Can't believe that just happened. Alright guys, sorry. Alright, where was I? Hi Michelle! Alright, so we are on piece 10 now. I guess what I'll do is I'll just finish this up and then you guys, I can show you guys how to tell you guys how to repeat the process. So we're on, I'm going to take and kind of make my project smaller. I'm going to lay this over here, leaving the bottom one there facing down. Turn this other one down. I'm going to align my salvages. Bring this top up nicely without stretching, pulling, or tugging. Can't believe that. There's a big, the wind actually blew down the box with all of my pieces to my customer's quilt. They're scattered all over the floor. I picked up the quilt part, but the rest could just stay on the floor because those pieces aren't white. Oh. Stupid wind. And I don't even have a blowback in here. I actually closed the door, so there's no blowback. Okay, so I'm just lining these pieces up. I'm not stretching, pulling, or tugging. I kind of think that the stretching, pulling, and tugging part is how some people have issues with strip piecing, especially when you're putting so many strips together. Because if you pull it and tug on it, it's gonna put it out of whack. I just lay the pieces right on top. I adjust them as I go. I let the machine take it through, and I always finger press. I have those floor things, you know, those anti-fatigue mats over there. It landed on that. It's just on that, so it's not bad. It's just the little pieces, the applique pieces. They're like literally everywhere, and when like the way it landed, trust me, it's a disaster. I moved it all in one spot. That's all I did. All right, this one is being pressed to the right. Plus, when it's done, it's getting washed anyway. She's never going to wash it, she said, but I have to wash it because there's red, green, white, all sorts of colors mixed in. Fabrics don't bleed as bad as they used to, but well, let me tell you, I did buy one fabric once that was red, and it went through it got all over everything. And the second time I washed it, though, I put some color catchers in it, and some fabric softener and some really good soap, and guess what? It all came out. It like those color catchers pulled it out of the rest of the thing. It was kind of weird. So, all right, we are on piece 11. So I'm going to lay the bottom one down, bringing the top piece over to me, lining up the selvage side. I'm not caring about the top. I'm caring about the selvage side. I want those to be equal because that's the side I'm cutting from. My start cut when I finally go to the next step. So like I said, this is probably, depending on how fast you sew, this is the part that goes a little bit quicker. The prepping is what takes a while because you want to get your colors in a radiating color, and building a top and a bottom, you need those colors to radiate back and forth equally. So I'm making sure that happens. But now you guys know why I said the 2 matching colors, because it doesn't matter if there's only 40 colors, because you could just go in a row with, you know, 1 of each color, as long as you had 2 of each, because you need 1 for one section and 1 for the other section. So, and both jelly rolls had 2 of each, so I was able to radiate in and radiate back out. Which for me, I'm hoping matches properly. Watching me is better than cleaning else. The only cleaning I did today was I put my laundry away. That's it. That's all I did. Last night I cleaned my bathroom. But I prefer to be the only one that cleans my bathroom. The kids do everything else. They do their chores. Okay, this is being pressed to the left. And I'm just going to keep rolling it up next to me, because it's not going to take away the flatness of it. I kind of want to get to the first pressing on the iron part so that you guys can see how well this actually presses out. So I'm going to take these 2, put the bottom one on one, so flip it around, put the other on top. We're on piece 12, barely, 12 of 21. We're getting there, getting there. All right. I really love this seam guide. Like, it for me helps so much. I am the most sloppiest straight line sewer, but the seam guide, it keeps me in line. It's like, whack, get it in place, Tiffany. Alright, this one is pressing to the right, and as I go, I'm kind of just rolling them, it up, keeping it next to me, nice and snug. I just don't want to knock any of these other pieces out of place is why. Alright, next piece, put it on the pile. Bring the top one over to me, line up the selvage, and start sewing. I wish there was a pause on live feed kinda so that I can pause, do all this, and then press resume like in an hour when this is all completed so they get to the next part. Now that I say it, watch in a couple months, live feed will have that. Also, would be a good idea, just so that you guys know, once I get this sewn, I'm going to put a little post-it note with a pin on it that says Section A, Piece 1. Just so that when I lay it over in the area, just in case I don't finish today, that everything stays in order. I'm really going to have to take these shoes off soon because my feet are starting to be really sore. Remember, I'm still trying to keep these wonderful little folds from where the fabric didn't align properly. Keep those tucked under and folded. I'm not pulling or tugging. Just aligning them as I go, holding it nicely. All right, so this one presses to the right. And I'm going to pop some shoes off real quick because this is really bothering me. Okay. Next piece. I'm going to kind of try to slide these over just a little bit without knocking them off the desk. Once you get the general order going, it goes so much faster. So yeah, it goes a lot faster. You know what this kind of reminds me of? A sew-a-thon. Instead of a telethon, it's a sew-a-thon. Except I'm not raising any money. I'm just raising everybody's heads going, hey, I think I can make that. I'm sure I can make that. I can make that. My little sew-a-thon. On a Tuesday. Go figure. Shoes either. I've been living in the desert forever. Technically we wear sandals all the time, but because of my foot problem, I have to wear shoes right now. But as soon as I can get into the doctor, and they can tell me what's really going on in my foot, which I already know. I have plantar fasciitis in my left foot, and it's really, really bad. I had to have surgery once, and yeah, now something's wrong again with the stupid foot, and it's actually super irritating, and it's making it hard for me to walk and stand long because it feels like I'm walking on a goat head, you know, the little things you step on out in the yard, goat heads, and or like a pebble. Like it's the mixture of a pebble and a goat head. Like one One way, if I step on it, it's super duper sharp, and the sharp pain shoots all the way up my leg. It's straight up my body and into my head. Like, I literally feel it that sharp. The other position to step on it, it's like a pebble. It's like it's in my shoe. Like, I originally thought it was a pebble in my shoe, but nope, there is nothing in my foot. It's just right there, and it's most likely a bone spur, which I've already had. So it just feels different because it's like right dead center of the, like right above the scar, but center of the heel, and it sucks. So I've been having to wear shoes because of it. I don't really ever go anywhere, but we don't wear shoes in our house. So I've been wearing shoes in the house because my foot hurts that bad. But it also hurts being in a shoe. I'm not used to it. Because I always wear slippers or sandals. Always. In the winter, I wear my cowgirl boots, though. Alright, this one's being pressed to the right. And if you don't know, just look on every other one. That's pretty much what I'm pressing it to do. Every other way. And you'll see what I mean when we get to the pressing on the ironing board. Alright, we're at piece number 17 already. Alright, sides together. How many we got out there going on? How many of you are viewing? Bye. This one's kind of short. I hope I don't lose too much of my cut. So because I decided to do this, I have decided I actually want to make a Bargello Lone Star. Yeah. That seems like just where it radiates one color. I don't know how it's going to be possible, but I'm going to figure it out. I am. Alright, this one presses to the left. And this piece is really going to cut me short. Don't want to rip it out, but I'm gonna. I need to adjust this up some. Alright guys, excuse the rip out for a second, but I have to do this because I need to adjust it up a little. I'm going to lose. I need to get every bit of cut possible. So normally I wouldn't rip out a whole seam like this, but this didn't end up right. And this is such a tight stitch to rip out, but once they're subcut, you're going to know why you got that tight stitch. I suck at seam ripping, no matter if I have a good seam ripper or not. Stay, pieces. I need it to come straight at me like this. There we go. This is my seam ripper from Michelle. It holds in my hand better though. Definitely. I might be doing something wrong with the seam ripping though. I guess I can go both ways. No, it doesn't work that way. It works this way. Wouldn't that be awesome, right? Like, you know a Lone Star quilt, right? You know what I'm talking about. The big star, it's made with diamonds. But think about it if it could radiate from big to little diamonds. Like, I don't know how, but I know I could figure it out. Hell, maybe you could probably try too, Cindy. I'm pretty sure I could figure that out. So I'm really I'm intrigued by the style of the Bargello, but putting it with a Lone Star, which is made with diamonds, I think that would be the most awesomest thing. Or I could just cut out, make a big huge Bargello and just cut a big huge star out of it. That would be some work, huh? That would be hard as crap. I'm still on. It's still working. How long have I been on?
2 hours and 16 minutes.
Well, I gotta rip the seam because it came down too much and I can't lose that much of a cut because my measurements are specific. So.
Well, if that's a slow process, you could stop if they know what you're doing. It's up to you.
No, I'm just gonna, because I only have a couple more pieces to sew and I want to show them how to press and then
Okay.
be done. So they can watch me seam rip and ask questions. They know that.
Okay. No problem.
Sandy asked earlier what your hobby was, so I had to explain it. But I don't know how much you lift when it comes to like bench pressing and things like that before your injuries.
Before, a lot. Just tell them I came third in the pull-up contest in town, and in order to beat me, they had to call out an actual professional weightlifter in from out of town.
Oh, speaking of him, okay, I said he's a bodybuilder. It's a weightlifter, bodybuilder. It's all the same thing to me. His goal was the body of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was his bodybuilding idol.
But natural, not with steroids.
Yes, but all natural.
Hello? Yeah.
So.
Yes. Did you want to come check it out?
They're very pretty. Yes, they are very pretty. Okay, I missed something here. Time to talk. Frog, rivet, just push. Cutting backyard man, cold down, starting to cold here, we got snow. We got rain again the other night. Randomly out of the blue, some parts of town everyone was saying there was hail. Like pea-sized hail. I'm trying not to rip on these too much because I don't want to stretch the fabrics being like this on the cut that they are. I'm almost done seam ripping, guys. I'm really slow at this whole seam ripping process. I wish there was a faster way to seam rip, let me tell you. Especially because it's going to be only this piece. The rest should line up right. I don't know why this piece just seems shorter. It was probably not a 40 to 44 inch width fabric, you know. That would be the only reason for something like that. Sometimes I seam rip from the front, but I've ripped fabric accidentally this way before. So I try to be super duper careful when I do it this way. Oh, look, it's apart. Okay, I'm gonna pull all this excess thread off. Sorry about that, guys. I normally would not do this, but because I have to use, and remember, we're using like literally down to the last inch of fabric. There should not be any waste, you know what I mean, with this project. So, well, that's fine. I'm still doing this. After I get to this last part, though, I will take a break and let you guys go on your own ways with the piecing part of this. Let me just make sure I'm not going to have any little threads sticking through. I hate that when that happens, and they're so tiny. All right. Again, let's put this back right sides together. And I'm going to bring this up this way quite a bit. Lay it on there, come this way just a little bit. Right there. I need this to be as far that way as possible without sewing the selvage, cutting into selvage, or using the selvage. Alright, let's do this again. I'll just have to remember that for section 2. This one is being pressed to the left. And look at how I'm just rolling the project up next to me. And now I'm going to just start sewing the rest as fast as I can, or as fast as the machine will allow. If I was on the Juki, I would probably have been done by now, because that machine is fast. Okay. Line up the selvage. On top of here, not stretching, tugging, or pulling. The only thing I'm doing is adjusting it, just ever so slightly. All right, this one gets pressed to the right. Okay, laying this down right here. Right sides together. Together. I almost had that the wrong sides together. But the fabric is the same color on both sides on that one. It's kind of funny. Line up. And just sew down. This one's going to be pressed to the left. Oh, that's fine. All right. Next. And you're going to say, well, why do we have this really bright piece as the last one? It all makes sense when it comes to the next piece when they go together. Should all magically make sense. I should have popped it out for a different color though, honestly. Something that wasn't in the top or the bottom. I'm going to go look at that real quick. That does not look. That does not look good. That's a crappy quilt. What's a crappy quilt? Crappy quilt is when I screw up. Give me a second real quick. Oh, that hurts on the hard floor. Oh my goodness. It ends with this one. I want it to end with this one. That will be that next step. Okay. I'm gonna fold 21 and replace it with a pastel green, not the green. I'm just gonna leave it. It's 21. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I had to look at that for a second. Sorry, guys. Ugh. I can't step on my heel at all, so I'm walking on my tippy toe. Alright, I'm going to leave it. I think that it's just fine. Had to look at it again. You know how I change my mind often. So I had to make sure that that piece was going to radiate into the next one just right when I start rolling the colors. Alright. Oh, hello, Tracy. Welcome to me doing the Bargello finally. It's an all-day process, but I'm going to take a break after this, and I'm going to go have something to eat, have a smoke, go potty. You know, typical stuff, and then I will be right back out here and on live again. All day. With breaks in between. I can't kill all you guys' phones in one video. Gotta split it up. Unless you guys are watching from a computer. Then you guys could plug into something. Yep, I'm trying to kill everybody's devices. Hell, mine won't even stay charged. It's on the charger because I can't read the chit-chat at the same time. It's kind of funny. Alright, last one, piece 21 for section A. Alright, I'm going to plug in the iron in a second once this is on here so I could show you this part. And then I can walk you through the next part without actually doing it. Just so that I can get off here for a little bit. Give everybody a little bit of an assignment because you guys could watch this later anytime, but you know, I'm going to give myself a break and you guys a little bit of a break as well. Charge your devices before I come back on. Can you plug in the iron, please? It's the white cord for me. My feed has been good since. It hasn't had an issue. All right, and this last one is being pressed to the left. All right, I'm going to turn the camera over to the iron, but I'm going to show you first on the table how flat this actually lays just from finger pressing, because there's one final step before anything. So here's my roll up. Get it? It's a jelly roll, and I re-rolled it back up. And now we know that my selvage is actually the bottom. So I'm going to throw that over there. And I'm going to turn this camera right here so you guys can watch me press it. But I'm going to show you how flat it actually lays. This is kind of cool how this happens. Like, you'd be surprised. I'll lay this over here so it doesn't blow away. Watch this. Move those over. And I have no idea what I was thinking about 8 pieces about that right now looking at these, but that's okay that they're pre-cut because they're going to be used. Do you see how flat this is already? Look at that. It's flat, it's straight, there's no bowing, curving, or nothing. You see that, guys? Like, it's awesome. So, I don't know who that is. My phone is ringing. Alright, let me put a little bit of water in this thing. And I can't read comments anyway because my phone is actually ringing. I can't see where the fill-up line is on this iron, which really sucks. So I always tend to overfill it because they made this in a black color, so you can't even see. It's kind of dumb. Alright guys, let me bring this up right here so I can see. You just keep the camera. Oh, because I don't want it to be like a forever long video. I'm just going to break it up so I can go eat and stuff. In case I end up staying in for like 35 minutes instead. Alright, so I'm going to put this with my right side facing my ironing board. Why might you ask? Because it's simpler. So what I'm going to do is my seam is already finger pressed. So I'm just going to give it a slight little tug to make sure that it's all the way open. Just a slight tug, and I'm going to just do that the whole way down. So I started on the top one, which is pressed down towards me, which would have been the right, and then I'm just just a slight tug all the way in between every single one, and the rest you don't really have to tug as much. They should be laying flat already. So I'm going to do all these real quick. They're laying opposite of each other already. So that first one was mainly the one. They're nice and flat. We'll do this part first. And then I'll come and turn it around and do the other way. Because there's one more step to this. And everybody that knows anything about a Bargello knows that there's one more step. Thing's nice and warm, but they're sticky on my ironing board. It kind of sucks. The same name as two cities in California, Tracy and Davis. How funny. But neat. I have sticky stuff all over my ironing board from that applique crap. Oh. And this one, I'm just going to give a slight tug right here for this bottom one, even though it's starting to twist me. Alright. Now I'm going to pick it up. Now this is how long it is, guys. So it's not very long, so it gives you a good amount of... So that way, if you don't have the big, huge cutting mats, it'll help being smaller pieces like this. So I'm just going to go on the top, and I'm actually going to iron, like you iron anything else, back and forth. Like this, because what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that there's no folds in any of this, you know, and I can hear it hitting each piece of fabric at that seam, making sure those seams are 100% open.
Hey, lovely lady, do you want any more rice stuff?
No, I'm probably gonna have a sandwich and chips.
Okay.
I know you guys are told all the time, don't iron, press, but this project, you really, really, really want to make sure that all of your seams are open, and the ironing allows you to hit across them so that you can make sure they are all open. Now, just so that you guys can see, look at this. It is so perfectly flat. So I'm going to lay it on this surface. I'm going to lay it just like this. And now I'm going to bring this bottom, which was this one below the purple, piece 21. I'm going to bring it up as straight as possible up to piece number 1. We want to make sure that they're straight, you take these seams, because we're creating a big, huge tube. You want piece 1 and piece 21 come together, and this bottom, it just shifted on me. So lay nice and flat, so that right here comes together just like that. And if you want to put a pin in it, put a pin in it. Probably the best way to do it anyway. To keep it together. It's going to want to keep moving on me. That's just how these tubes work, but you want it to lay flat. So let me grab a pin. I'll grab 2 pins just to be on the safe side. I'm going to stick one in. We're keeping them flat, so they're not going to be level. They're going to be just ever so slightly shifted. But I'm going to line those pinked edges up. I'm going to put a pin in there. I'm going to line these pinked edges up. We're going to be doing with all the panels that we're making. I want to make sure that this bottom piece that's in the fold is nice and level. So I'm going to take and put my pin in right here. You know me, guys, I don't normally pin, but so now it's laying nice and flat. So again, you can see some of the, like I said, this is why we're trying to line them up as best as possible, because any kind of shifting from the, any of it, you know, so as you can see, the selvages right here, they're off, but that's okay because we're trying to get as many inches as possible. So between my last selvage and my smallest section, I have 21 inches to work with, which is, I think, perfect. All right, I'm going to bring this over, and I am going to sew it. Okay, so I'm over in my little sewing section. Alright, make sure it's aligned again because I didn't pin the middle, I just pinned the top and the bottom. Now I'm just going to stick it under here. We're making sure it's nice and flat. That's why I laid it on my I'm going to pull this pin out and then I'm going to zoom down this, keeping them together, but I'm not going to stretch or pull or tug because we don't want it to turn at all. Just creating one big giant tube. And this whole entire thing is going to be a bunch of big giant tubes. Trying not to move all my pieces right here because I kind of got to be able to show you guys how that goes back together. Let me just flatten this back out right here. So I didn't put pins all the way across, which you could do if you need to. Lining it up, sewing my 1/4 inch seam. And then we'll turn the camera and show you how I press it when I'm done. Because it's important that all the seams are pressed a specific way so that they nest just right. Okay, so let's turn it again and bring it over to the iron. Okay. Sorry that I'm a little bit slow. I'm walking on a tippy toe. So then I'm going to put my shoe back on. Alright, so now we have a big huge tube. What I like to do, and you guys can use the other part of the iron, but I like to put the tube over the ironing board like this, and I'm going to have to turn it both ways. And this seam is going to go to the left, which I'm just going to put it down because that's the only option. Turn it around, putting it over the ironing board, and pressing it. I'm going to pull it off, and that should be it. I'm not even going to press it from the top because there's no need. It's nice and flat. I can see no puckers or folds or anything. So I'm going to remember that that's my top piece, but at least when I open it up, it will lay pressed the way it's supposed to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin a little note on here. If I can find my little half pieces somewhere. Oh, there they are, right here. So I'm going to take my little notepad and I'm going to write we will put part 1, piece 1. Because the next one will be part 1, piece 2. Part 1, piece 3, and part 1, piece 4, and then part 2 will be the second section. So this is top. I'm going to write top on it so I know. Just in case you guys get confused, it's your top. I'm going to take a smaller pin. And I'm going to pin this on because my sticky notes never stay. So, let's turn this camera this way, guys, for just 2 seconds. I can't see the comments, so just give me a second. So this is the top panel, and this is actually the way it goes this way. We want the selvage edge. Your selvage edge goes to, when it's in front of you, move that hot iron. When the project is in front of you, your selvage edge is going to go to your left side, okay? So, I'm just going to put this piece on. It's to my left. So that's my top part 1. I'm going to turn the camera. I'm going to turn this iron off. And I'm going to come around. And I'm going to show you guys the quick and easy way to do part 2. Before I even sew anything. Because I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to talk to you guys. Okay. So part 2. The reason why I actually laid them and kept them right sides down, now I'm on the opposite order. So all I have to do is take piece 1, which is actually number 21, and the next one, putting it right sides together, because this will now be on the bottom with the selvage to, if you're facing your project, the selvage will be all the way to the right, giving you your centers where you cut, hooking them back to the place where they were cut. Get where I'm going here? So when this is laid, when all these pieces are attached, so on and so forth, this way, just from the position they're laying now, you're going, building it to the right of you, if it's in front of you, building it to the right, because when you fold it back together and put it over on your, stack, laying them sides together, you'll have selvage on the left and selvage on the right, and the center will be its original cut from where it came from. Make sense? So you're pulling right back the opposite way again. So I'll just lay these together, selvages together. These ones aren't numbered, by the way. There's no number on these sides, so be very careful because I wrote the number on one side. But we will put the number that these are the top pieces, obviously. And this will be section 2 of the top. So I'll just sew this one real quick. All the way down. Always sewing on the right, obviously, of your piece, not on the left. So if the last piece on the other one was pressed down towards me, then this one is going to be pressed up, because these ones are also going to be alternated every other piece. So now this one starts being pressed to the left. Trust me, there's a method to my madness. So again, I'm just going backwards now. Earlier I started from the right hand side, pulling the first number 1. Now I'm starting with piece 21, working to piece 20, 19, 18, 17, and working my way back. So here would be the next piece, and then the next piece would be this one, and so on and so forth. Get where I'm going, guys? So my upside down pieces, you move them to the side, stacked on each other, but now you're just grabbing from right to left instead of left to right. So I'm going to leave you guys to that. And when I come back, I'll be sewing these, obviously. I might even just do like a fast forward. Sew all of them real quick so I can get to that next step. But, all right. So we have Sandy, Tracy, Senada. That looks like it. I didn't notice if anyone was else on. Vicky. I didn't see anybody else when I turned the screen. So there's 4 of you guys. Do you sew the quilt on your, do you sew the quilt on your other machine? Everything's pieced on this machine. When I quilt it, I will be quilting it on the Juki on the frame. So I guess before I let you guys go, I'll take you over there and show you the project again that I'm working on and I got a little bit further with. Let me pop this off. Alright, join me for a quickie through the garage. And then I'm going to eat. I unplugged my iron. Good. Okay, so the project that's over here is this one. I ended up having to, this is what I got frustrated with when I read you guys the note my husband gave me this morning. It was because I got frustrated with this. So my quilting, all this quilting, this feather work right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, and these lines, which you probably can't tell that either because the light isn't on. Let me turn the light on so it'll be easier to see. My handy dandy cord down there. Sorry for this. Obviously, I'm just showing you guys real quick. See how much better that is. Okay. So, see these? This dot to dot quilting. Well, this whole entire quilt. So I did all these, obviously. This side of everything, though, this whole section, the pieces that go up and down like this, I have to take the quilt off the frame when it's finished going these directions and quilting the little feather piece in this. As soon as it's done, I have to take it off the frame, pin it back on the other way, and do this direction because that throat, see that? I only have like 7 inches to work with, and these I think are like 9.5, 10-inch blocks. So yeah, but you can see my ugly feathers in there that I was getting pissed off with last night. Well, there's a bunch of ugly feather work because I was getting super duper pissed off. So that's whatever, you know. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to, yeah, it's in my video description.
Oh, okay.
So my husband told me to remind you guys to let you know, for all of those who've been asking for my address, that now in my description down below, my P.O. box is down in that. And yeah, all my other links are down there. For anybody that's new, like and subscribe, and hopefully you can follow along with my Bargello quilt process here. And I hope everybody's enjoying so far. And I will be back after I'm going to do it in this order: smoke, pee, eat, and sew. But I'll probably just go back live again. Stay beware because I'm coming back live again. So charge your devices, guys, because I'm probably killing your devices. Because I know mine's not staying charged. So, all right, guys, I'll be back in a little while with more Bargello, and we'll see how much I can actually get done today, because this machine is not as fast as my Juki. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'll see you in a little while, and we'll get back to this, and I'll charge things up actually as well while I'm at it. So, bye for now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. Not really kidding. You can actually like and subscribe. Bye-bye.